Hello, welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. Now, it's probably been a while for those of you who've subscribed since you've last seen a video from me. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and like, share, and comment below. Today, I want to talk about the Eurovision shortlist of cities that will host the 2023 contest, which of course will be happening in the UK, my home country. Now, I haven't kind of done any videos previously kind of with the other news that came in, when we learned that that Ukraine was not going to be hosting the contest for sadly, but for very understandable reasons. And the UK was kind of being offered the second choice through to it being confirmed that the UK would be hosting, which obviously very exciting news. And then finally to the sort of, there was 20 or so cities expressed an interest in hosting Eurovision, which just goes to show if any more evidence was needed that how much actually the UK really does enjoy Eurovision, how much enthusiasm there is behind for it. But those cities, those 20 sort of cities and regions and towns have been whittled down as the BBC, sort of in partnership with the EBU and also in discussions with the Ukrainian broadcaster, they have released a shortlist of 7 cities, and which we will find out which of the 7 will actually host Eurovision next year, sometime in the autumn. So in case you haven't seen what the cities are, which I'm sure you probably have, but they are Birmingham, who have previously hosted the contest, Glasgow, Leeds, Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, and Sheffield. Some sort of surprises, or some people might be surprised to find London not on that list, but I didn't find that particularly surprising, just because London has hosted several times before. Also, London is just difficulty of perhaps getting venue, just the sheer size and expense of London, I think, and also just the move by the BBC to move things out of the capital and to other cities, which I think is a perfectly good thing to do, because London gets a lot and it doesn't really need the tourism boost. It's one of the global cities as it is. So I'm sure other of my friends who actually live in London perhaps be a little disappointed that there is no chance of it being in London, but I don't think that was ever really on the cards. No Cardiff or Belfast representing Wales and Northern Ireland. Of course, Eurovision has not been hosted in either of those countries yet. Cardiff had already pulled out because I think of difficulty in terms of venue or availability of venue, and Belfast didn't make the cut. Other cities that didn't make it were Edinburgh and Brighton, who have previously hosted the contest, and nor did Aberdeen or Sunderland make it, and there were a number of others. But I think we've got a really good set of cities. I think. There's certainly most of them have, as far as I know, are kind of making quite a big play, quite rightly so, of links with Ukraine. And, some of them are, I know Newcastle, my own city, it's classed as a sanctuary city. I know Leeds and Birmingham have got I've got a lot of Ukrainians living there, staying there at the moment, and close links. So I'm glad to see that this is, while the UK is hosting, it's really Ukraine's party, but just at the UK's house, as I think Sam Ryder put it very nicely. So I'm glad to see that is there. We're not losing track of kind of why it is in the UK. This is just on behalf of Ukraine, but it is a wonderful opportunity for all of those cities. And I think now, obviously, I have a vested interest because I'm from Newcastle and I'm living back in Newcastle now, and I obviously would be delighted if Newcastle did somehow win the right to be the host city. I'd put a gazebo up in my back garden, I imagine, just to accommodate all friends who probably want to come and stay. Probably a bit of a long shot, I will admit, with Newcastle, but I think it's a wonderful city and a wonderful place and wonderful people, and I think it would be a really fantastic Eurovision if it did come to somewhere like Newcastle. However, I do appreciate, much alongside probably Sheffield and Newcastle are probably the long shots on it. I think Birmingham did a great job with the Commonwealth Games. but they were also the last UK city to host back in 1998, and so I just wonder whether that might count against them. Also, the venue is not right in the centre, so but they would make a very good job of it, I'm sure, if it did go back to Birmingham. So I think most people seem to think it's going to be between Glasgow, Manchester, and Liverpool, and I can certainly see why. They are, in Glasgow, Manchester are very large cities. Manchester has got a very big venue, has got the biggest venue in terms of just numbers, and we know that because the UK people really like their live events, the tickets are going to be so difficult to come by, and every event will be sold out. But they are obviously cities that have got a big capacity to hold events. They've both held the Commonwealth Games before, as well as obviously Birmingham has done that as well. So I think they are both in good stead. Glasgow is the Scottish home of the BBC, and they also have whereas Manchester is the kind of the dual home for the BBC in England, alongside London. So there's some benefits with both of those. Obviously, both big international airports. So all the cities have got international airports, but obviously Manchester and Glasgow have a lot of connections. Liverpool, I think, from a music perspective, there's obviously a strong link there. Sonia, of course, is a runner-up at Eurovision back in 1993, and she's been very much, she's been on the TV, kind of getting fully behind Liverpool as a host city, and again, very friendly people, a lot of history there. I think with both Liverpool and Newcastle, they have great locals, great party cities, but their venues are the two smallest ones in terms of capacity. So again, I don't know whether that will count against. Again, it's above the minimum, but I don't know whether that will count against. Leeds, I think, could be a dark horse because it is the UK City of Culture next year, I think. I think they've got some strong links with Ukraine, and it's a decent sized venue as well. They don't have public transport in Leeds is the only thing, is they don't have anything other than buses in terms of public transport, but I think the venues in the city centre, so it might be a slightly moot point perhaps. So I think there's pluses and minuses for all of them, but I think whichever city gets chosen, I think they're all really good choices. I think what the bonus is of not being London is that all of them can really it can be a real festival. The city can be a real Eurovision host, and it will bring the whole city with it. Whereas I think London is just so vast. It would be a fantastic venue and still great, but it might not feel quite as though that Eurovision is the big focus of what's going on. So, and I think obviously with the slightly smaller cities, sort of Leeds, not that any of them are small, but sort of Leeds, Sheffield, and sort of Liverpool to an extent, I think it would really become super focused on Eurovision. So, don't know what will happen. It's very exciting. I will be keeping my fingers crossed for Newcastle, obviously, but I'll be very happy with whoever gets it, because I think we'll hopefully the combination of the BBC with the host city, and in conjunction with the Ukrainian broadcaster and the EBU, I think will make for a really unique Eurovision, a very special event, which we can look forward to. So yes, what do you think? Which city do you think it will be? Was there any cities that you wanted to see there and then not there? Do let me know in the comments, and who knows when I'll be next back, possibly. I keep planning to do some more videos on reaction videos, but I haven't got around to them yet, I'm afraid. So otherwise, I think if there's any kind of big Eurovision 2023 related news, I will obviously do a quick video. But lovely to see you for now, and take care.